now. The left is in a panic that we've melded their culture war tactics into our own our strategic battle plan. They're panicking. This is a longer clip, but it's important. It's a hapless goofball of a so-called reporter. She's not a reporter. She's an activist who poses as a reporter. She's a joke. But this woman, Brandy Zadrozny, I mean, she's an anti-free speech advocate. She attacks people on Clubhouse and other apps. It's really embarrassing. She is in an absolute panic over the fact that Americans are figuring out that people that support critical race theory are racist and they're teaching their kid to be racist. She's in a panic. I don't know why. Does she want people to be racist? I don't know. I can't get in her head. But here's an appearance she did on MSNBC. And I want you to pay very close attention. Over about a minute and a half, and it's worth your time. She's panicked because parents are showing up at school boards and saying, I'm not going to teach my kid to be racist. She doesn't like that. Why? I mean, you can only get in her head. And she's also panicked that the Freedom of Information Act, in other words, you as taxpayers, your ability to see what the government's up to with your money, she can't stand it. I'm not kidding. 2 takeaways. She's panicked about FOIA. She wants government secrecy. And she's panicked about parents actively getting involved in what people teach their kids because she wants to continue teaching critical racism theory in schools. Listen to this. Listen to the panic. What you think. This is absolutely terrific. Check this out.
It's hard for me as a reporter because I don't want to put foils in a bad light, right? Freedom of information laws are wonderful things, but it is in fact a tactic of national and just hyper and fast-growing local organizations to use onerous public records requests. So what we saw in Maine is asking for all of these records requests of, how much money did you spend on anything involving race? And then that is used to sort of frame, again, the school board as being, as paying for CRT, which again is just not the case. And so that's what happened there. In Nevada, we saw, again, this local group called Nevada Family Alliance, who was really known for trying to get drag queen story hour stopped at the local libraries. And now one activist there told me that this was the opportunity she had been waiting for. So she files these onerous FOIA requests, gets them, and then translates them in a way that's just not correct or accurate, in a way to suggest that, again, the school board is coming to your children and teachers are specifically teaching white kindergartners, that they're somehow oppressors. It's just not really true. So onerous FOIA requests, school board meetings showing up en masse and yelling at school board members, all of this is sort of a tactic, and it's being left up on by national organizations, from the Heritage Foundation to ALEC to other groups that have popped up after the Trump presidency to sort of push this American First agenda. And it's also being, roundly embraced by news organizations, like you mentioned, like Fox News, Breitbart, other right-wing organizations who are just covering this stuff en masse when it's really a local issue.
When this joker goes on TV to panic about something you should all take a bow, then you should pop the corks. Get yourself a little Don Julio 1942, take a swig of Ruski. Maybe a double shot with a little bit of with a cube in there. I don't know. I may be doing that tomorrow night. Maybe. Not sure. Haven't decided yet. We'll see how the Fox show goes. Whenever Zadrozny's in a panic about something, it usually means that we should double down. Notice what she says in the beginning. FOIA. Yeah, I mean, I'm a reporter. I should celebrate the freedom of information. But then she goes on to describe how FOIAs are onerous and how they're being weaponized. Being weaponized mean they're being used by your political opponents. That's weaponizing them. And then she says, and then they're using these FOIAs to show how schools are funding basically critical race theory. But that's not what they're really doing. No, that's what they're really doing. Like, we showed the money. They've showed the lesson plans. And then she said, you notice what she said? She leaves many of you probably caught it at the end. Some of you didn't. She says, and they're saying like that the kindergartners are being taught that their kids, if they're white, are oppressors. But notice what she said. She doesn't say that's not what they're doing. Do you hear what she said? She said, well, that's not really what they're doing. Notice how she throws that in there? She can't say that's not what they're doing because they are. So she's like, no, that's not really what they're doing. And then she's panicked that parents are actually, my gosh, these parents showing up at school boards demanding to know. Oh my gosh. These parents, how horrible. Demanding to know what people are teaching their kids with their tax dollars. When Brandy Zadrozny's in a panic, take a bow. You're winning. She's a joker. She's losing. They know they're losing. They know they're on the wrong side. If there is a moral arc of history, which I hope there is, they know they're on the wrong side of it. They know they can't defend their Marxist, racist training anymore. They know we've got them in a corner, and they're panicking. So they're lashing out at FOIA requests, school boards, parents, anything.